So recently I've been going back to Qtile as my window manager of choice, and I've been trying to explore some of these features that I've never used before. And one of those features is keychords. So it's when you have one key binding and that key binding unlocks a whole bunch of sub key bindings. So you can basically have an infinite combination of keyboard shortcuts on your machine. You can have, one key binding for your applications, and then you can do like B for browser, F for file manager, and so on, or maybe one key binding for all of your application launchers and so on, right? And Qtile has this feature built in, and it's one of my favorite features because it allows me to organize my key bindings into multiple keychords essentially. And I'm just going to show you how to use keychords on Qtile and how I do it. So first, let's just show you an example here with Emacs, because I have a keychord for the Emacs text editor. If I were to do Super E, that is the keychord I have for Emacs that does nothing, but it does activate that keychord. Now if I were to press regular, just E again on my keyboard, that should run Emacs. It looks like Emacs has crashed. Let's run it again. There we go, there is Emacs. Or if I were to do Super E and I, that should run the Emacs Lisp interpreter. Or if I were to do Super E and D, that should run the Emacs file manager. All of this is being done with one keychord, right? And we're just going to go through how to configure keychords on Qtile. So let's go to my Qtile configuration file, which is usually located in .config qtile config.py, and we're basically going to import this module from libqtile.config import, and at the very end you can just add keychord here, so make sure to spell it correctly. And once you add that module, you can simply use it in your keys array. So you'll have an array or dictionary or whatever, I don't know much Python, for adding your key bindings. And this is your regular key bindings. So like this menu, this is Super P, and it will spawn my app launcher. You can see this is my applications launcher here, and this is what a keychord looks like, right? So it has super, and then C is the keychord I'm using here for my wallpapers. So I have Super C, and then if I press C again, that will run my wallpaper script called wall with the flag -s true, that's for shuffle. So every time I open up my wallpaper script, it's going to be a random order. And then I have Super key R for a random wallpaper. So whenever I press that, it will just find a random wallpaper from my wallpapers directory and set it. -D sets the default wallpaper because I have a default wallpaper for it. -C restores the last set wallpaper, and -G is a GUI for my wallpaper picker. So if I were to do Super C G, it will allow me to pick a wallpaper with this sort of file manager here. And that's the keychord for wallpapers. I have one for applications. So if I were to press Super M and then B, that should launch my web browser here. It looks like it crashed. Or Super E and F should launch my file manager, and so on. And this is the syntax for keychords. You should do keychord and then these parentheses, and then you give it the modifier key, which is going to do mod, and then the key, so it's going to be E for example, and then just a whole bunch of keys inside of it. Make sure to do this empty brackets so that there's no modifier. You can do modifier if you want to, so you could do something like this. So now if I were to press Super E and then Super E again, because I specified this modifier, I can do that, but nobody really does that nowadays. And that is basically how you use keychords in Qtile. So if you are using the Qtile window manager, you should definitely check this out. And anyway, that's going to be pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If so, you can give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. And that's gonna be it. I'm out.